All right, welcome back to Wmma Now with your host Chuck Stevens, coming at you with a fight review. So we're going to Singapore for one fight night 8. We're going to the one atom weight 115 pounds division. We have Seo Hee Ham coming in at 25-8, taking on Itsuki Hirata coming in at 6-1. Now this fight was scheduled to happen back at One Championship 163, I believe, back in November. Hirata missed weight. Ham refused to fight, and they rescheduled it now for here in March. So we finally got to see this bout. So let's get into it. First round, Ham set the pace immediately, stalking Hirata and throwing the occasional left, and sprawled and rolled with Hirata's first real takedown attempt and managing to get away. From there, Ham went back to work, circling with her, throwing the occasional left. In two later takedown attempts from Hirata, Ham sprawled on her and made her pay with a knee on the way out, just showing, I got your game, and this is what's going to keep happening. So first round was pretty easy. Ham was ahead after the first round. Got to remember, One Championship, open scoring or whole fight scoring, they're not scoring round by round. So you go to the second round, and before the start of the second round, referee Herb Dean warned Hirata for activity. He said, you got to have a busier pace in the second round. Can't just keep circling and circling and circling. So second round starts, and Ham was a little busier earlier in this round, throwing more punches as she would manage to trap Hirata cage side. Another two Hirata takedown attempts were rewarded with a knee by Ham after getting sprawled on. Now, on Hirata's third attempt, Ham reversed it, went into Hirata's half guard before getting back up, and Hirata was able to finally get Ham down against the fence, but she got her stuck in a sitting position and was trying to control the legs as Ham kept fighting against it to get back up. And she wasn't able to really progress past the legs. And then another later takedown, Ham sprawled on it, answered it with a knee and punches. And then at that point, as the round wore down, Ham started throwing in some kicks to the body as well. So going into the third round, you're thinking, well, Hirata's going to need either a finish or near finish to win. And she's going to have to really do something big at this point, which is what Hirata does. She does big moments in the fights. So the third round starts, and early on, Herb Dean stops it, pulls the yellow card out, and cards Hirata for the inactivity that he had warned her about. Hirata just kind of kept, circling away from Ham. Ham, on the other hand, started getting even more aggressive in this round, throwing body kicks followed by punches. At one point, Ham hurt Hirata with a knee and forcing Hirata to shoot. Ham sprawled on it. And Hirata actually turned into this one, or turned the corner on the sprawl here, and manages to get Ham down, and basically had her sitting against the fence again. But something I gotta mention here, Ham just started pushing on Hirata's head and really pushing it down, and that simple move right there, locking out her elbow and pushing on Hirata's head, kept Hirata from really being able to go anywhere from there. Ham was able to pop back up, but Hirata was able to keep her sitting down. And this time Hirata just started punching towards Ham. Ham started punching at Hirata. And she even took the outside arm of Hirata and started peeling it up to open up for, some hammer fists. Hirata was able to hold on, even after Ham made space and kneed her. And then Hirata did get a few seconds of top control, and by a few seconds, I'm talking 2. Almost got, side control off of a fireman's carry. She did she got Ham in the fireman's carry, rolled backwards with it, so it was like a reverse fireman's carry. And but Ham was able to get back up to the cage, and time ran out. So it went to the judges, and all three scored it for your winner by unanimous decision, Seo Hee. So I did a fight companion for this one, and I admit I was nervous for Ham in this one, just because she hadn't fought in a year. But this was an easy win for Seo Hee. Hirata offered very little, and she showed even less. Like, she showed less than what she normally does. And let's talk Hirata for a second here. You know, she's plateaued badly. Now, she went to the U.S. to train last year, and is there now full time. She got a lease on an apartment, and that could change it. Like, a lot of people are saying, oh, she needs to go back to Japan. Needs to go back to Japan. It's too early to say. It's too early to say. This was her first fight in a new fight camp in a totally new environment, and she's even, you know, having to work around language barrier and everything. And a lot of people seem to think that, oh, a new camp should show immediate improvements. It doesn't always work like that. You know, sometimes a fighter, they go to a new camp, and the first fight after that is really just like a building moment. Like, sometimes fighters even regress a little bit when they go to a new camp because they're not used to showing new things, and it takes time for that to progress. So we'll see what more time in the U.S. does for Hirata. But in this fight, the experience difference showed big time. No matter the situation, Ham was able to stay calm and deal with it. And I mentioned this back during my fight companion that, you know, Hirata, or even I think in the preview for this fight, Ham built her career fighting Japanese judoka. So it was going to be hard for Hirata to, you know, show anything to Ham that she hadn't seen against other Japanese judoka. And talking about things that Ham did good, that control on the ground, that head control, that was money. I mean, she had Hirata absolutely trapped, and all she was doing was pushing down on her head and even locked out her elbow and just moving her shoulders to adjust to where Hirata tried to move her head, and Ham had her stuck there. Big question here. Who was Hirata looking at in the crowd? They mentioned it in the commentary that, you know, between the second and third round, Hirata barely even addressed her corner and kept looking out in the crowd at someone. And then even like right before the round started, she was looking at someone in the crowd. I have a theory that it's her boyfriend, Ersan Yamamoto, or her ex-boyfriend. I don't know if they're still together. Maybe he was in the crowd trying to offer her advice. If he was, it wasn't helping. But that was just a weird moment there. It's like you're between the second and third round. You're down in the fight. And you're ignoring your coaches to take advice from someone in the crowd. And it was just a weird moment. Anyway, so what's next for Hirata? That's a big question here. I mean, look, she's lost 2 of her last 3. And then in that third fight, she won due to a Hail Mary. So, yeah, definitely needs to keep on working things because she's plateaued. And is the title shot next for Ham? We'll talk about that in a second. So let's move to things to work on for Ham. The only thing I want to see more from her is a faster start. Fighters like Stamp or Angela Lee, basically the only 2 fighters left for Ham to face right now, they're faster starters. Especially Lee is a much faster starter. Ham needs to learn to start. I'd like to see her start a little bit faster because she started this fight a little bit slow. For Hirata, listen, I could spend a whole video in itself talking about things that she needs to work on. I'm going to keep this one simple. Start with a jab. She has no jab. So that right there is going to be the baseline that she needs for a stand-up game. Start with a jab. From there, you set up the right hand, the big right hand that she likes to throw, And then from there, that's when she goes for the takedown. But you can't just throw the big right hand all the time and then hoping to get a takedown off of that. Start with a jab. And a lot of people are saying, she needs a plan B. She needs a plan B. No, what she needs is a better plan A. And that's where the jab comes in. Because she has no jab. And the jab is the foundation for all of striking. For fights to make. For Hirata. Maybe they could do the G and Rajwan rematch. Rajwan needs a win as well. She just lost to Stamp. And the rematch between those two could be fun. Also, a fight with Seo Kim would be fun as well. Then you could keep that Japanese versus Japan rivalry going. Seo Kim, much different striker style than Seo Hee Ham. That would be a fun fight as well. For Ham, well, I want to see her face the winner of Stamp versus Elise Anderson. And in a interview after the fight, Chatri Sityoton, one CEO, said that's the fight to make next, is the winner of Stamp versus Anderson, likely for the interim championship. So let's get that going. So anyway, those are my thoughts on this bout. Seo Hee Ham defeated Itsuki Hirata via unanimous decision. Easy win for Ham. If Hirata wasn't exposed before, and she kind of was, this fight definitely did it. And Ham looked great in this fight. So let me know your thoughts on it in the comments down below. If you liked the video, please hit that thumbs up button, And while you're at it, if you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe to WMMAC Now, the best, most complete women's mixed martial arts dedicated platform on YouTube. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.